Judge, can I state the preliminary on my motion to revoke first before I start the proof?
You may.
So Judge, the state filed this motion back in May in regards to the motion to revoke bond on Mr. Hunt. We were in court that day and we addressed the first part, Your Honor, of the GPS bracelet that day. So that component has been taken care of. I think that Mr. Hunt, along with his attorney, agreed that he did not have on the bracelet at that point in time, but then he has since, as of that day, gotten his bracelet put on. So that part of my motion to revoke, I no longer am arguing that he does not have it on because he does currently have it on.
All right.
In regards to the others, Judge, Mr. Hunt was charged with multiple offenses while he's been out on bond in this case. And I have, at the time, Your Honor, we started to hear it, but I did not have certified copies. I do have certified copies at this point. I have shown these to Mr. Waynick, and I would like to introduce those.
No objection, Judge.
And Judge,
Are you going to make these exhibits?
Yes, please, if I'd like to make those an
Will they mark
exhibit,
as
it's a collective exhibit, Your Honor. Yes, Judge, so at the point in time that I have requested these, I was not aware of any disposition other than I believe one of the cases involving criminal obstruction of breathing or blood circulation and harassment in the second degree had been on a reset type disposition or maybe it's a retirement type situation, but I think they do things differently. This was in New York, Judge, but that one was the offense date was November 7th of 2024. The other one, Judge, are certified copies of the charges that he received, as we do not have any notification about a conviction on those. However, Judge, I would like to present evidence from Officer Krugh in regards to those charges.
All right, so the exhibit 1 will be copies of the charges against the defendant. These are all in New York.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And your next proof would be the witness, Mr. Krugh, as a witness.
Yes, Judge, and I do have, I need to be able to play something over the TV. I'm not sure how that works with the officer to be able to see it as well as play it and have him there. Perhaps there can be guidance on that.
If he is in the Zoom meeting, he can see the screens that we have up.
Okay.
What is it you're wanting to demonstrate to him?
Part of the charges, Your Honor, that he was part of the investigation of, part of the evidence of the charges. Don't know if he has copies of it or not. I mean, he does have copies, but I don't know if he knows what I'm specifically referring to. I've received it from him. So I do know he has copies. I'm happy to try to do that. Ms. McKinney, you can direct me.
Well, why could it not work for her?
I can give it to you. That's fine.
If she will log in and
I have it on a thumb drive.
put the charges up on the big screen, and then you can put the camera on the big screen, and Mr. Krugh should be able to see that, shouldn't he?
Loud and clear.
Officer Krugh, you've been called as a witness. I need to place you under oath. If you would, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this case to be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, I do.
All right, thank you.
Can you state your full name, please, for the record?
Corey Krugh, Corey Krugh.
And where are you employed, Officer Krugh?
City of Buffalo Police Department.
And were you employed at the City of Buffalo Police Department back on June the 29th of 2024?
Yes, I was.
Were you called out to and involved in an investigation involving John Hunt and another co-defendant?
Yes.
Okay. And are you aware of the charges that he received in this case?
Yes, and the conclusion of our investigation, yes.
Okay. And was it, I believe it's your brother as well, Matthew Krugh, that was involved?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell, if you recall, what different charges Mr. Hunt was charged with that day?
I know there was a drug charge and a weapons charge. Not specifically sure what they were, but definitely was a weapons and a gun charge, along with almost running someone over in a wheelchair and causing an accident and multiple vehicle and traffic violations.
Was there also a DUI?
Yes.
Okay. And did you provide me with some documentations in regards to the evidence in your case?
I believe I provided you with a link to the Axon file with all the evidence from the case.
Okay. And I would like to share some of the evidence in this case with you, and we're going to try to see if it will work by showing you through my screen. But if you can tell us, if I pull this up, if you can tell us what it is, okay?
Am I looking at your laptop there at the podium?
Yes, it's kind of hard to see though. Yeah.
That looks like body cam footage from the incident. Yeah, that's the body cam footage from the incident at 1140 Jefferson Avenue.
Do you know who was driving that vehicle?
I'm not sure at that point who was behind the wheel.
Okay. And who was charged with the DUI?
I believe person on testifying, Mr. Hunt.
And if I play this here, was this the vehicle involved in your investigation and accident later on?
Yeah, that is the vehicle that took off from there, drove up over the sidewalk, almost struck a person in a wheelchair at the corner, and then officers had to pursue the vehicle. The next block up is Dodge Street. He went up Dodge at a high rate of speed to Maine, where he blew a red light and T-boned another vehicle, injuring that person also.
All right. And I'm going to fast forward some here. I presume, were there many officers present at each of these different scenes?
Yes.
And do you recall what all these officers were doing at this point in time in regards to this vehicle and Mr. Hunt?
So I believe the original call was for a suspicious person or a gun call. Officers, that vehicle description went out. Apparently people were going in and out of the building, which is a secure building there, apartment building. Officers tried to investigate. They came upon that vehicle that had left and came back to the scene multiple times. They were trying to find out what's going on, and that guy refused. Talking to that vehicle, he refused to get out of the car, and that's when he took off up over the sidewalk.
Okay. And that's what's going on at this point?
Yes.
Do you know what they were trying to do at this point?
Trying to get him out of the vehicle, and this is where he takes off, drives down the sidewalk, and you'll see up here where there's an individual in a wheelchair. There's other videos of that. He almost hits on the sidewalk, and officers began pursuing him.
And there was an individual in a wheelchair, you said, on the sidewalk there that he went up onto?
Yeah, like a motorized wheelchair. He clipped it, kind of flipped him over, clipped it, damaged the wheelchair, almost hit the individual, but luckily he was unharmed
Okay.
for the most part.
And then you said after this, y'all pursued him, is that correct?
The officers on scene did, yes. I work for the accident investigation unit. We were called in for the collision with the pedestrian in the wheelchair, basically, and for the pursuit and the collision at the few blocks up when he injured the person there. And also helped with the DWI part and the rest of the investigation, gathering all the video evidence
Okay.
and all that.
And so you were involved then, I guess, in the DUI situation and the other party that was injured during the pursuit, is that correct?
Yeah, correct. Myself and Officer Mark Andrzejak, both of the accident investigation unit.
And do you know what he tested positive for during your DUI investigation?
I believe the toxicology report came back and he had marijuana in the system.
Okay. And then if I can, Judge, I mean, I offered to show all of my evidence to Mr. Waynick in regards to this. This is
The objection is as to hearsay. Sustain the objection. Turn your microphone on, Mr. Wayne.
That would help. Well, she said she offered to show us that, yeah, on break earlier.
I'm sustaining the objection as to the marijuana.
Let me turn your attention then to, let's see. This is another viewpoint. Can you tell us what's happening here?
You can see the individual in the wheelchair, the motorized wheelchair up the street. That's where the individual tried to flee from officers and drove up over the curb and drove down the sidewalk to the corner and then proceeded to make a right down Dodge.
I'm going to show you one other video. If you can tell us what's happening in this video.
Part of the investigation, I was gathering evidence from the building there to get multiple camera views of who was in the car, who might have been in the car, and what was going on. And the police cooperated, gave us a lot of video, almost every angle in the building. The individual in the black coat was also the individual in the car. This shows them. I had other angles of them coming in the building, and they like jacked the door open so they could gain entry back and forth. I have numerous videos of them walking about the hallways. Right here, they exchange what looks like packaged drugs. And then there's multiple videos of them going door to door selling.
And were there drugs that were later removed from the vehicle that had crashed?
Yes. And a weapon.
And I'm going to show you a few pictures here. I'm sorry, this is messing up here. Can you tell us what this picture was of?
That's the intersection of Dodge and Main Street. So the black car there is the defendant's car, and that came off of the street there at the top, Dodge Street, through the intersection, blowing the red light and T-boning that vehicle. It looks like a Ford Escape tan that he T-boned him and sent him into the light standard there, to the light pole.
And is that just another higher angle of that?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Can you tell us what that is a picture of?
That is the handgun that was recovered from the vehicle during the initial vehicle inventory search of the car. Our policy is when we impound a vehicle, we do a quick once over of the car to inventory any property that might be in there, and that gun was found on that initial search.
And can you tell us what this is an image of?
Looks like crushed up blue pills.
Do you know where the gun was located?
Not specifically, no. I was not the one who recovered it.
And I don't know if you could see, but can you see what that's an image of?
Looks like cash, a phone. Can't really make it out from that.
All right.
Some more cash in the vehicle that was in the door panel.
Can you see this? Let me see if I can make this bigger. No. Well, that made it smaller.
Like a baggie with blue pills.
Yeah, I'm not doing a very good job of making it like this. Okay, so that was the baggie of blue pills that was recovered in
Yes.
the vehicle? Okay. And you testified earlier that Mr. Hunt, along with another individual, had what appeared to be drugs as well inside the building, and that was what we observed passing from one to another. Is that correct?
Yeah, it looks exactly like a baggie with blue pills in it, hand to hand, handing it back and forth.
And can you tell us, if you can read this part too, what is this for you?
I can't really make it out. Can you zoom in a little? Oh, that is our, okay, now it's lighting up. That is our impound form with the vehicle inventory search on it. That's what we fill out when we impound a vehicle.
Okay, and did that vehicle belong to, it looks like Jasmine Hunt?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, officer. I believe that's all the questions I have, but if you'll please answer any questions of the defense.
Sure.
Wayne, if you wish to question the witness, you can come to the podium, please.
Officer, is it Krugh?
Yes.
I want to make sure I get that right. All right, thank you. Well, I'm Attorney Roger Waynick, and I represent Mr. Hunt. And When did you send the link with the Axon files?
Uh, a while back. I'm not exactly sure.
It's been a few weeks at least.
At least, yeah.
Any idea why I didn't get that?
I don't know. It's above my pay grade.
I understand. Sure. Well, we watched some videos in that, and I didn't see Mr. Hunt in any of those that I could identify him in any of those videos. And I haven't seen anything showing him in there. Would you
Well,
agree?
Well, Mr. Hunt was arrested. He was wearing the black coat.
Mr. Hunt was arrested. And you say he was arrested on a drug charge? Is that right?
He was arrested on multiple charges that night.
And he had disposition on those last Thursday, the 25th. Is that right?
I'm not aware of that.
Do you have a way you could check on that?
Yeah, I'd have to check in the court system or check with the district attorney's office here in Buffalo.
And you knew this hearing was going to happen today,
I knew this hearing, yes.
but you didn't check to see if the disposition that was entered?
Now with the volume of cases I have on my desk, no.
But the drug charge, gun charge, DUI, those were all dismissed, weren't they?
Not that I'm aware of.
As a matter of fact, everything was dismissed if Mr. Hunt just pays a fine, wasn't it?
I did not see the court disposition.
You testified, I want to make sure I understand, you're not sure who was behind the wheel. That's right, correct?
I could see a person in a dark coat behind the wheel in the body cam during my investigation, which is the same dark coat as the person in the hallway and the same dark coat as the person who arrested, who ended up being Mr. Hunt.
And you talk about the hallway, you said there was an exchange of drugs. That's just speculation, isn't it? You don't know what was actually exchanged.
In my 25 years of experience, that looked like drugs to me going hand to hand.
Okay, so in your 25 years of experience, you can testify as to what happened in a hallway on a video, but you won't even check to prepare for a hearing, is that right? The disposition of charges?
I'm not disposition. Let me think about that. So normally when I testify in a case, it's before disposition. So I wasn't aware of any disposition in this case before I was asked to testify.
That would be good information for us to have, wouldn't it?
Well, you're in Tennessee and I'm in New York, and I'm not, like I said, I'm not even aware of what happened here in New York. So,
Okay, so you're not aware of what happened here in New York? Okay, all right, that's all I have.
Any redirect, Joe? Thank you, Officer Krugh. I appreciate you coming in and testifying. We'll let you leave our hearing.
thank you.
State may call your next witness. State has rested their proof on the motion to revoke. You wish to put on any proof?
Make sure you scoot up and speak clearly into that. Would you please state your name?
John Robert Hunt III.
Now, Mr. Hunt, you're part of a conspiracy case here that you have charges pending, right?
Yes,
Okay. And we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about a motion to revoke bond.
yes,
And the state first filed on two claims, one GPS, you
Yes.
heard them, and one on your charges out of New York.
yes,
Okay. Do you have a GPS now?
yes,
Okay. I want to go back to that a little bit. That was a condition of your bond, right?
yes,
Have a GPS. Were you paying a bondsman for GPS monitoring?
yes, me and my mom.
Okay, do you remember who that bondsman was?
His name was Reggie.
Okay, his name was Rich.
Reginald Reggie Bondsman, if I'm not mistaken.
Was it the same bondsman that bonded you out?
Yes,
Does Pardue bonding, does that sound right?
yes,
Okay, is that who you were paying monthly, and were you paying them monthly?
yes,
Whenever you found out, as we were in court last time, you were not wearing a GPS at that time, right?
no,
Did you go get a GPS?
yes, the next day.
Okay. Have you been wearing it since then?
Yes,
Even before all this, have you appeared at court every single time?
yes,
Whenever you were released from jail here in Dixon, where did you go? Where were you living?
I went home. I went to my mom's house
Where is that?
in Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay. Well, you got charges out of Buffalo, New York. How did you get to Buffalo, New York?
I'm from Buffalo, New York. We moved to Atlanta when I was like 16, but I went back to go help my grandma.
Okay. When did you go back?
I can't remember, but I went back.
Okay. Had you been back up there a while, though?
Yes.
Okay. What were you doing whenever you were up there? What I'm talking about is where were you working? Where were you staying? That kind of stuff.
I've been staying at my grandma. I was staying at my grandma's house. I was applying for jobs. I couldn't get a job. Then I eventually got a job
Where?
at Tops Distribution Center.
About when did you start there?
I started there in October 2024. So
We're talking about almost a year, is that right?
yes, it's about to be a year since I've been working.
Is that full-time employment?
Yes, full time.
Okay. Have you quit or been let go or anything
No,
like
no,
that?
none of that.
Okay. So what do you do there?
I'm a selector. I basically pick out the stuff and build it on a pallet, then wrap it so it could be shipped out to the stores, for grocery stores.
Are you working Monday through Friday or
Monday through Friday, only got 2 days off, Thursday and Sunday.
Thursday and Sunday? So
Yeah,
you're
they're my
working
only 2 days off. I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
Okay.
Friday, Saturday.
All right. While you were up there, though, initially you were charged in Buffalo, New York.
Yes,
What has happened to those charges?
they got dismissed
When did they get dismissed?
September 25th.
Okay. Have
When?
you, I'm sorry,
When?
September 25th?
September 25th.
Was that last Thursday?
That was last Thursday.
Have you and I been trying to get copies of the judgment?
Yes,
And are we able to get copies right now?
we can get copies, but it won't be later. It won't be like until like a week later because my lawyer got to get it.
Okay. I'm sure the court understands it takes time to process those things.
Yes.
Okay. What exactly is the disposition of those? You said dismissed. Was there let's go one by one. Drug charge. Was there a disposition on the drug charge?
Yes.
What was that?
I don't know what I just know it was dismissed. I just know everything was dismissed and I only got to pay a fine.
You only have to pay a fine.
Yes.
Were you stuck with a gun charge?
No.
Were you stuck with a DUI?
No.
Okay. Were you stuck with a vehicular assault
No.
or any kind of assault?
No, none of that.
Okay. And it's your testimony here, under oath,
Yes, under oath.
that these charges have been dismissed.
Yes.
And you understand that if the court were to find out they hadn't been dismissed, they could charge you with perjury.
Yes.
Okay. And it's still your testimony they've been dismissed.
Yes.
Okay. If the judge does not revoke your bond, where are you going to go?
I'm gonna go back to Buffalo, New York and go back to work.
Okay. All right. If the judge says you have whatever court dates you have, are you going to appear?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I have.
General Wojnarowski, you may cross-examine.
Mr. Hunt, you bonded out in 2023, is that correct?
Yes.
And when you bonded out, it was part of an agreement to reduce your bond, is that correct? To
Yes.
wear a bracelet,
Yes.
okay? And you were not wearing a bracelet when you bonded out, is that correct?
No.
And you didn't have one on in 2024, is that correct?
No.
And it wasn't until I filed a motion to revoke your bond in 2025 that you came into court and got your bracelet on at that point in time, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you say you were paying a bonding company. What were you paying them for?
For my GPS.
And you sure you weren't just making payments in regards to the bond that you had amount?
No, he gave me a GPS on my phone. It was on my phone, and me and my mom was paying every month.
Okay,
But then once we came to court and you filed the motion about it, he didn't send nothing to the court. He didn't present nothing to the court.
and you realize that a GPS bracelet is actually something that is attached to you and not something that would be on your telephone where you could just leave your phone anywhere you wanted it to be.
Yes, but this is my this is my first time ever being in trouble, so I really don't know anything about that. I just was so happy to get out of jail and just be home with my family.
Are you telling the court you've never had any convictions before?
No,
None at all?
no,
And you don't have any convictions or on probation out of Georgia, is that correct?
no.
Now, in regards to the charges in Buffalo, you had two separate set of charges, is that correct?
Yes,
Okay, you had charges that involved domestic, is that correct? The obstruction of breathing is the charge, and harassment?
yes, that was with a family member.
Okay.
But she lied, so she never showed up to court.
But those did not get dismissed, is that correct?
They is dismissed if I stay away from her.
So it's basically a retirement or something along that lines where continue it to a certain period of time, and if you don't get into further trouble. Is that what it is?
Yes, and I've been staying out of trouble.
Okay. And then you agree with, that you just watched this video, is that correct?
Yes,
And you agree that was you in the black truck?
it's a car, but yes, that's
Or,
me.
I'm sorry, yes, a car.
Yes, that's me.
Okay. And you agree that you were the one who went up on the sidewalk
Yes,
and that you hit the wheelchair that the gentleman was in?
I didn't hit nobody because they didn't press no charges.
Well, whether or not they pressed charges, if the evidence the officer testified to was that you hit the wheelchair the person was in, do you disagree with that?
Yes, I disagree that
Okay.
because I didn't hit.
And then you further went on through an intersection where you hit another vehicle head-on and caused injuries to that person. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay. And then that was in fact your vehicle or your mother's vehicle, is that correct?
it was my car, but it was in my mom's name.
Okay. And in that vehicle was both a gun as well as drugs, is that correct?
Yes, but I didn't mention that it was a passenger in the car. He wasn't in the car. He got out the car. I was already in the back of the cop car. I was the one that was driving.
So are you trying to say everything was his?
Basically, yes.
Okay. But you recognize that you're out on probation, or not on probation, you're out on a bond on a Class A felony charge, is that correct?
Yes, I'm out on bond. But
And you allowed this person to be inside your vehicle?
I was giving him a ride.
Okay. And you and this other person were seen on camera in the apartment complex, don't you agree?
I'm not in an apartment complex.
So that was not you, you're saying?
That's not me.
With passing the pills to and from each other?
That's not me.
Okay. I don't have any further questions, Your Honor.
Redirect. Mr. Whiting.
Why did you drive off?
Because they started breaking my windows. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I already been shot before, so it was just so many cops around the car. I just didn't get out the car because I already knew that I had this case going on, and I didn't want to prevent me from going to jail.
Okay. You hired a lawyer
Yes,
and y'all have disposed of these cases.
yes,
Do you have to go back to court anymore for any of these?
no,
Okay. There was some talk about the motion to revoke bond being filed. Was that motion to revoke bond filed after you denied the state's offer to settle your case here?
yes,
Sustain the objection. Offers of settlement are not admissible even in criminal cases.
The videos, are there other videos showing them trying to get into your car? Police trying to get into your car? Something about breaking out a window, I heard that.
not. I don't know. That's my first time ever seeing that video. I never seen the video, but I don't know.
Mine too. Mine too. Okay, that's all I have.
Anything further?
You testified that these charges, the ones that we just showed video and everything for, were in fact dismissed, is that correct?
Yes, I just gotta pay a
And
fine.
that happened on September the 25th?
Yes.
Okay. And what kind of fine do you have to pay?
It's a $670 fine. Just leaving the scene and reckless driving.
So,
And it's another. I don't know. It's another charge, but I don't know how to pronounce it. My lawyer got it. He got everything. He just can't get to it right now.
So were you in fact found guilty of leaving the scene of an accident and reckless charge and have to pay a fine for that and not go on probation?
Yes.
Okay. I don't have any further questions, Judge.
Step down, have a seat by your lawyer. Yeah. Oh.
All the charges were dismissed.
Yes.
But did you plead guilty to the charges, or were they dismissed?
I pled guilty to him because of what I knew what I did. I pled guilty, but they dismissed though.
The drug and the gun?
Yes, the judge looked me in my face. She said, "Mr. Hunt, I see you've been working for a year. I see you've been staying out of trouble. I don't have to put you on no probation, no nothing." And that was that. She said, "I just got to pay my fines."
Okay, so you did take responsibility for your part?
Yes.
Okay.
Your Honor, Mr. Hunt is out on the conspiracy case involving Class A felony charges. He has received 2 separate times while out on the $100,000 bond charges out of Buffalo, New York. He has, whether or not charges were dismissed or retired or any of those different ones, Judge, I don't know the disposition of those cases other than what I have provided to you. However, the argument is the state has put on proof to show that Mr. Hunt was involved in leaving the scene, fleeing from the officers, driving down the sidewalk, hitting a person in a wheelchair, then further fleeing from the officers where there was an accident site and someone got hit head on. The state has put on evidence to show from officers of the scene that there was a firearm recovered from his car and that there was also drugs recovered from the car. This video also shows, Judge, what the officer testified to, which was Mr. Hunt, along with another individual in that apartment complex, which they had been dispatched out to, handing one bag of pills over to the other person. Those pills were then located in the car. Judge, I would ask that his bond be revoked due to the fact that he has been charged with, and evidence shows that he did in fact commit crimes while out on bond, and they were clearly serious crimes. Whether or not Buffalo chooses to prosecute them, that's their prerogative, but he should not be allowed to commit crimes while he's out on bond for the state of Tennessee.
There's the testimony from Officer Krugh was, "I'm not sure who was behind the wheel." Mr. Hunt, as hard as it was, he admitted, "Yes, that was me." And he took responsibility for that. These other charges, the drug charge, the gun charge, the assault charge, and all those, those were dismissed. He was not, I mean, it's common for whenever you got multiple defendants, to charge someone and find out later it was actually not theirs, it was somebody else's. He has pled guilty to leaving the scene and some other things that he's taken responsibility for. Mr. Hunt has showed up for court every time. Even coming from Buffalo, New York, or Atlanta, Georgia, he's been here every time. And this case has been reset a number of times. He has stayed in contact with me. I think that there was a lot of speculation, and if we listen closely to the testimony of the officer, it was full of speculation. And we're trying to argue about a case in New York it's difficult whenever the case has been resolved and it's taken time for us to get everything. But the state has decided to push forward to today. And I think that Mr. Hunt he did plead guilty to leaving the scene. That is a charge. But he's done everything else he could possibly do. Revoking bond to put him in jail. It's in my mind, it's a pretty severe thing. He's working, he's doing what we're wanting to do, and he's taking responsibility for the acts that he did take. But I asked the court not to consider the charges that were dismissed or just it being, whenever you say drug, gun, DUI, that sounds horrible. There's been no proof that was actually him. And again, I'll remind the court, Even the officer testified he's not sure who was behind the wheel. And he's known about this hearing for a long time. He didn't look to see what the disposition was to help us out. So we're kind of going on incomplete information. And based on that, I'd ask you not to revoke his bond, to leave him out on bond, put him on a very short leash.
State's motion to revoke bond is based on Tennessee Code annotated 4011-141, subsection B, which provides that if after the defendant is released upon personal recognizance, an unsecured personal appearance bond or other bond approved by the court, the defendant violates the condition of release, is charged with an offense committed during the defendant's release, or engages in conduct which results in the obstruction of the orderly and expeditious progress of the trial or other proceeding, then the court may revoke and terminate the defendant's bond and order the defendant held without bail pending trial or without release during trial. That case has been interpreted, that statute has been interpreted by our appellate courts, and specifically the state of Tennessee's Supreme Court in the state versus Burgeons, which is found at 464 Southwest 3rd, 298, 2015, Tennessee Supreme Court. Just a snippet of that case says that when a defendant engaged in criminal conduct while released on bond, the Tennessee trial court was required to conduct a bail revocation hearing to determine whether the defendant forfeited the constitutional right to pretrial bail in compliance with the procedures established to meet the constitutional due process requirements. This court has conducted that hearing, which complies with the constitutional provisions and requirements. Further, the Tennessee Court of Criminal Appeals in State versus Mason, which is a 2016 Court of Criminal Appeals decision that permission to appeal was dismissed by the Supreme Court, and that is found at Lexus 965, 2016 Tennessee Criminal Appeals. The trial court correctly revoked the defendant's bail based on the need to protect public safety after finding the defendant threatened others, including members of the district attorney's office, inquired about purchasing a gun from a pawn shop, and was described as being vulgar and angry. In this particular situation, there is no question that the defendant was charged with some serious offenses, one of which is, and then this is the affidavit of the obstruction of breathing, which we would have called felony domestic assault with choking. The affidavit states that the defendant at the aforesaid time and place did with the intent to impede normal breathing or circulation of the blood of another person, apply pressure on the throat or neck of such person, in that the victim stated on October the 13th, 2024, she got into a verbal argument with the defendant. The defendant did push the victim against the wall, grabbed her neck, applying pressure, and did obstruct her normal breathing. The victim's son had to intervene to stop the defendant from choking the victim. That's one of the cases that he was charged with, which he says may or may not still be pending. Another one of the charges in that particular instance was harassment in the second degree, and that's the same set of facts that apply there. Then you have the other factors which are set forth in what Officer Krugh testified to about, and he is correct, Mr. Winnick is correct, and Mr. Winnick is an excellent advocate for the defendant. He is correct that the defendant claims that these cases have been dismissed, but then suddenly we find out that the defendant was apparently found guilty of something because he had to pay a fine and supposedly stay out of trouble or whatever. But it's not required under this statute that a person be convicted of those offenses. What is required is that they be charged, and there's no question that he was charged. Whether New York decided to prosecute those charges that I've witnessed on the screen is a different matter. What I saw on the screen was someone who drove away down the sidewalk, clipped a motorized wheelchair, and took off in that regard and ended up in a collision with another vehicle, placing the life and limb of several people to be at risk. And as a result of that, the defendant himself testified that was him driving. He testified it was not only him driving, but that he did drive down the sidewalk, and while he denied hitting the wheelchair, he does admit driving head-on into another vehicle. As a result of that, this court finds that the state's motion to revoke bond should be granted under that statute, and I'll revoke his bond to remand him in the custody of the sheriff's department pending trial. He is to step back with these officers.